Hi guys, Peter Finch here with the top 3 tips to help you pure your irons. Now, irons for a lot of people are a weak part of the game because the strike just isn't as consistent as it needs to be. So here are my top 3 tips that you can practice at the range or on the course to help you really pure those shots. So tip number 1 is really nailing down the impact area. Now the impact area with irons is pre-impact, just where the shaft is level with the ground, at impact, and then just post-stamp impact. Working on those 3 key areas can make a massive difference if you want to hit your irons purely. Now first of all, this is very much just that segment of the swing, this little half moon shape of the swing, and that's what we're really kind of focusing here on this first tip. Now very simply, to just practice the impact area, all we need to be doing is rehearsing a takeaway where the club head is just taken away nice and wide and where it's just in front of the hands, allowing the wrist to hinge upwards just a small amount so you get about 90 degrees of angle between the shaft and the club. Doesn't need to be more, doesn't need to be less, but just about that key area. And then hitting 3 key points. In the downswing, a little bit of weight on the left side, and then pull the hands down until the left hand is almost pointing straight down at the ball, as if you were aiming your fist straight down at the ball in this position. Also notice how the shaft is parallel to the ground and it's returned to a position which is pretty much in front of the hands from this down the line view. From there, turning the body into impact, getting the hands just ahead and the left arm, the wrist and the club in a nice straight line. Now from there, it's about maintaining this straight line with the left arm as you move through. This kind of last part is very, very key for having that impact onto the ball with a descending blow, which you're going to need for the irons. So once more, halfway, a little bit of hinge, pull down, impact and through. Now if you really rehearse those 3 key areas, when it's actually the finished product, should look a little bit like this. If you want to put a little bit of weight forward to begin with, actually first of all, to preset that, that's absolutely fine as well. So take away hinge, impact, and then move through. And that's the real key. What you want to be seeing here is a ball and then turf impact. If you can get those 2 things together, you know you've come in on this position here with the hands ahead and you managed to move through. Now the second thing you want to be doing to help pure your irons is do things with a nice smooth rhythm. Now everyone's rhythm of the swing is different. If you're a fast-paced person, your swing rhythm will usually be faster than if you're a very relaxed person. But you need to ensure that your rhythm is slow enough, that your rhythm is smooth enough is probably the better word of saying, that your body can move in the manner which it needs to. Now the rough sequence of events for the iron swing is a takeaway which moves the hands, the arms, the shoulders, the body with the lower half nice and strong and set into its original posture position. And from there, it's allowing the lower half to move left, begin to open and clear before returning the shoulders, the arms and the hands into impact. From there, it's a lovely kind of extension down towards the target. Now obviously those areas of the game need to be worked on individually. It's not as easy as just throwing it out there and saying that's what you should do. Those things do need to be worked on. But allowing and building a framework which has a nice rhythm will make those areas a lot simpler to achieve. Now to have a nice swing rhythm, you really need to find it yourself. It's very hard for me to give you a set rules of instructions, but the easiest way I've found to get people to do this is to get one of my clients in my lessons starting off with a swing at what they consider to be about 20%. Nice full swing, trying to get those motions. So about 20% of power. Then you ask them to put it up to about 40%. And then to 60. And then finally try and get them up to 80. Now 9 times out of 10, the 80% swing speed, the 80% swing pace is the one which is best. If you're swinging at 80%, you have something in reserve, but your tempo is a lot smoother and you can get things working in action. So you can go through those different drills But then by the time you actually get up to hit the shot, all you need to be thinking is just 80%. Can I move at that pace? And if you can, then you'll be able to control those movements much, much better. My last top tip for nailing the irons, and the last thing that you can really work on, is weight transfer and sternum position. One of the biggest problems with people hitting irons poorly is that their weight transfer is off and their sternum is often out of kilter. Now by that what I mean is when people tend to swing and get out of sequence with their weight transfer and their sternum, a lot of people swing in and try and help the ball up in the air. Now that means that the weight actually transfers backwards onto the back foot when it should be moving forwards, and the sternum, rather than staying central and on top of the ball, actually also shifts back a little bit too much. And the dead simple way to actually get the feeling of this is to actually rehearse swings where you move into the ball, getting the hips just bumping left towards the target, bringing the club down, keeping the weight on the left side about 70-80% planted into the left foot as you come down into impact, and then just trying to focus on keeping the sternum bang over that ball. If you can get those feelings and trust those feelings, especially when combined with the first tip from today, your iron strikes will be much purer. And if you manage to do this in a drill, if you manage to get used to this, shifting that weight left and keeping the sternum over the ball, you should be able to hit much purer iron strikes. Right guys, thank you for watching this top 3 video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already in this box below. Like the video, share it around, follow me on all my other social media platforms, and we'll see you down here again next time.